And they said, when I finished, they said, "Miss Flessinger, would you leave the room?" I said, "Yes." And I walked out the door for 15, 20 minutes. And those boys were deciding whether to blame me because Miss Smith had lost her job. I came in. They invited me in. Finally, I'm thinking I can quit.
That's so funny.
They said, "You come in, Miss Lessinger." And I said, "Okay." They said, "You won." I said, "What do you mean?" They said, "We're not going to blame you for Miss Smith being fired. It wasn't your fault. So we're going to cooperate with you." But they had a big debate for 15, 20 minutes on whether it was my fault their nice teacher
I
got
have been
fired.
fired.
If I hadn't stood outside that door, and I changed those kids' lives, I'm telling you, with giving them love and understanding and whatever. Isn't that a great story?
Yeah.
But I won.
With love.
They took a vote, and
With love and respect. You won.
they decided to give me love and respect. They didn't have it
Right.
for me at that point.
I
but-
think you did.
I respected
you gave
them.
It's
Yeah.
like you led by example.
Well, I said I had made a decision that if they
Mhm.
didn't like me, I'd quit. I didn't need the job. So I was fine either way. They could do whatever the hell they wanted. I was going to take the job based on what they did. I didn't say that. But I, in my mind, knew that didn't have to come back.
Right. Right.
And if I was going to have to fight those boys, I wasn't coming back. But I waited. I was over 20 minutes. They finally invited me back in.
What was
They
going
were
through
my
your mind
favorite.
when you were out there waiting?
Well, I was deciding if I would quit immediately or give it a
Right.
little time. I mean,
Right.
I was going to take care of me.
Right.
Whatever they did was up to them. And
Oh my
but they said, "You won." And
That's so funny.
I'm telling you, I changed those boys' lives. We had a wonderful time. And then a lot of them were killed in that war.
Vietnam. Mm.
Yeah. But I did enjoy the teaching with those kids, but I did it.
Mm.
I'm always a straight shooter. I speak it right to the heart of where it is, and I do it without judgment. I did good. I made a difference for them.
Mm.
But I was standing there thinking, I don't need this job. I can eat fine without it. If they're going to give me a hard time, I won't stay. But they didn't. They were very good, and they were lovely kids. And it was a privilege to teach them. It was really a privilege. I really have had some wonderful experiences with people. And I always stand for what I believe in. And I give them space.
Mm.
I don't know what I'd do today in today's world, but I suppose people are still people.
In the way that you stand for what you believe in, you're a straight shooter. Have you ever found yourself coming up against, as a result of that? Has it ever caused problems?
Probably. I'd have to think about it. I mean, I would not say it hasn't, but
Mhm.
there's a lot of experiences here in 82 years.
Mm-hmm. Right?
I would say never problems that I couldn't overcome by listening and being friendly back and giving space for the other person's thinking. I would say probably not other than that. And those little, the day camp, I did the day camp for the colored children because they couldn't both go, and I quit my job. Remember that
Yeah,
story?
I remember.
I'm very proud of that story because
Right.
I literally said I quit.
Right.
If I can't have a day camp for neighborhood 7 like my other neighborhoods, I quit. We don't want you to quit. Well, that's a pretty big deal for a young widow to quit.
Right.
And I said, I don't want to quit, but I can't work for a prejudiced group.
Right.
And they let me have the day camp for neighborhood 7.
Right.
And I'm telling you, was cute. My boyfriend came to see me, and he said it wasn't hard to pick you out. I was the only one in the camp. I didn't have one volunteer miss one day. Not one. They said, you're going to be in trouble. All those volunteers aren't going to come up. Not one volunteer missed a day. And those kids wrote that song for me that I'll always cherish. And it was wonderful. But I wasn't able to get integration. And that's fine. I don't think you have the right to push it or not push it. But I got equal rights.
Right.
Which is just as good. My kids had as good a camp, if not a better camp, being less of them with me. But they wrote, we'd like to linger, a little longer. These kids singing it to me. A little longer here with you. And as the days go by, we'll think of you and sigh. This is our very last day with you. And they sang it 3 times, and then they all came up and hugged me.
Oh my
That's a
gosh.
precious moment in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, it was no big deal, but
Yeah.
it was a precious, precious moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, they said, your volunteers won't show up. Oh, they told me everything. Why that? I said,
Why you
that'll be
didn't work.
my problem. Not a volunteer missed. Nothing. Everything was wonderful in
Right.
that camp.
Right. Right.
And that song has been a treasure.
Yeah.
What was I, 30, 25 at the time? 25? And I'm 82 and I still know that song.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So it's beyond race, it's beyond age, it's hard. And it's being fair and giving space for people to see with different eyes.
Yeah.
And that one guy that was reading my book with me was on the verge of suicide when he started reading it with me. I thought you knew him. I thought that's the one you remembered. He had been looking at suicide.
Wow.
And he read that book with me. Changed his whole life.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
So
It's all
powerful.
gets so confused to me right now, even where the books are and what's this. I mean, it's hard to get older because it is confusing.
Right.
But it's the way it is. I hold no grudges about anything that ever happens. I have no time for that.
Right. Have you always been like that? Has there ever been a time that you had to work on forgiveness?
Oh, I'm sure that.
Right.
That would be hard to answer because
Right.
I think it's always been a decision to make. It's not a work on it.
A decision.
It's a decision. If you work on it, you go on and on and on and think. No, I've always just made a decision. I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not ready for forgiveness, then I always speak my truth. So let's assume you've done something that's really bothered me, that I'm not over. And I can't think of a time, but it probably could have happened. I don't know. I probably would be saying, I think a lot of you, but I really still have some anger.
I have a scenario. How did you work through those feelings that you had of your mother's friend?
Olga?
Yes.
Well, it's a very good question, and I will tell you, for many years I never spoke to her. She was
Mhm.
not allowed to come near me,
Mhm.
and my dad, my brothers and that's a good question, because that was about as bad as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to visit them. I was old enough when they got the divorce.
Mhm.
Remember, I was 16,
Mm-hmm.
so I was not obligated.
Right.
My brothers and sisters had to go visit them for vacations and all that. I never went.
Right. Were you angry? Like inside, did you have feelings?
I was very hurt.
Okay.
I was hurt and I was angry. I'm sure I was angry. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't remember specific,
Right.
but I was very angry that my
Mhm.
my dad had taken off with my mother's best friend, and my mother was running it. My whole world had kind of fallen apart. The world I knew, and then Mom was running the lodge, and she married Kenny, who was an alcoholic. My world got pretty bad during that time. Because, we'd had a nice country club. Not that that's a big deal, but, relatively.
Right.
And we always had help at the house. And all of a sudden, Mom and Olga bought that restaurant together to help Olga get a divorce from Bruce, who was an alcoholic. And lo and behold, Dad and Olga have an affair somewhere in there. I was very angry with my father.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
He came in, I said, I have no respect for you. I mean, I spoke my truth.
Mm-hmm.
What was your question about that?
Just in terms of healing and moving through to forgiveness, through.
Well, the way I ended up
resentment.
forgiving Olga was quite amazing. I didn't dwell on it where I lived with hate all the time about it, but I would only see Dad and I wouldn't talk about Olga. I set my limits. But one day I was visiting my brother in Florida, Eddie, and had Frankie with me, baby. And Dad and Olga showed up at Eddie's house in Florida. Ironically, they're from Ohio, too. And that was really hard. Then we decided that I would follow them home so that I wasn't driving alone, whatever, in my car. And I kind of got to know Olga as a person again. And I can't stay angry when I'm with you as a person. The person in me finds the person in you. So then I kind of forgave them. And then Mom got mad at me and the whole family got mad at me. So I went through a lot over that. But I ended up, when Olga died, I went to a funeral, and I was always nice to Kathy. And it happened.
Now, who is Kathy?
Their daughter. Olga got pregnant for Kathy. I think the reason the divorce happened, actually, is she got pregnant for Kathy.
Oh, wow.
But, I now realize if I'd have been wiser at that age, I was only a senior. When Daddy said, what would you do? I'd say, Daddy, I'd let Olga have the baby. I would stay with my family, raise my 6 children, and we'll pay support for this baby. That's what I would have done.
Right.
Instead of leaving Mother and Mother getting upset. Mom and Dad got along well. But, I wasn't wise enough to have all, that
Right.
many wise words. But if I knew what I know now and this happened, I'd say, fine, let her have the baby. We'll pay
Right.
support.
Right.
She can come visit.
Right. Right.
But no. I
Right.
would have had a totally different approach, but I didn't have the resources to know to think that way.
Right.
Because I don't think Dad ever did want the divorce. So anyway, yeah, I would have done it that way. Baby's welcome to come visit our family whenever she wants to,
Right.
or whatever. And it's one thing about it. When you've been through a lot, you have a lot of experiences.
It's so true. That was the other thing Jazzy was talking about. She said through all of her challenges, she can help other people overcome theirs.
Who said that?
Jazzy, yesterday. Last night when we were talking.
Well, she's a little social worker. She's going to be a social worker.
Yeah. I remember she used to say, and she used to tickle me, that she wanted to be a marriage and family therapist.
Yeah.
And I said, well, why? She was like, because that's like a free reality TV show that you get paid for.
She's right. That's cute. You get paid and you have your own reality TV show.
Oh my gosh.
She is a smart little girl.
She's so funny.
She really is. But if she can have less possible hostility about what happened, the better for her. Because carrying hostility is like carrying a
Right.
cross around with you.
I'll try to because she's not holding on to it. She doesn't like Madison, and she doesn't like the but she's not. I remember. Do you remember that she was hospitalized last year?
I've forgotten, but I probably knew at the time. But
She-
my memory is really not
Right.
great.
So she was hospitalized. Jasmine was.
I don't know if I do know this. Tell me more.
Because she
Tried to commit suicide.
she said she was going to, and she had a plan.
I do remember that.
You remember that?
Mhm.
And I remember when she was in there,
That's scary.
that was very scary, and that's part of the reason why.
That's still scary.
Yeah,
If she ever thought it, it's scary.
yeah, and so, one of the things and that's how you know the type of person she is, because she said she was talking about like the people, because they had like a lot of group sessions of therapy, and she was like, these people in here have hearts of gold, right? She was like, they're just misunderstood. She was like, and I feel like Madison is misunderstood too. She's hurting and she lashes out at other people. She was like, us in here, it's like it goes towards ourselves, right? But she does it to other people. I was
Oh,
like,
there you go. She's a smart little girl.
and to be able to put all that together and to be able to have compassion in her heart for her even in that moment.
I give her a lot of credit for that.
Right? She's and I told her this morning when we were talking, I was like, understand that you're my greatest teacher. I've never met anybody in my life like you. Like, you're the strongest person I know. You're the most compassionate like I don't know how you do it. Right?
What'd she say?
Nothing. She just kind of looked like she didn't.
She didn't get it?
I think she got it, but she's just so.
Humble?
Yeah. Yeah. But not that fake humility. Like, you know how some people are like.
Fake.
Yeah,
I
not
thought
that
you said
fake.
faith.
Yeah, not that fake
Yeah.
humility.
I
but
thought
like,
you said faith, not
right?
faith.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that genuine
well, good for
humility.
her. Well, I think you should trust the fact that your daughter's on the path she needs to be on and support it.
Yeah.
And quit worrying about it. Because it's doing no good to worry about it.
It's true.
And I see it in you. You are worrying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's taking you down and not helping her.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't help her, why are you bothering?
Right. It's true.
If you're Jazzy, I would say this to you. Okay, Jazzy. You have a totally different personality from me.
Right.
And I admire your growth, your ability to learn, your acceptance and forgiveness, all of it. I love it.
Right.
On the other hand, I don't understand it.
Right.
And I only ask that as your mother, you always be straight with me. If you're hurting, feel free to talk to me about
Right.
it. And I will try to stay out of your way because you've got a path and I'm for you. But I just want you to know I love you so much I get worried. If you can just encourage me to trust you and let me understand where you're going. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Jazzy will take that very serious. There's no judgment, and she's not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe she can be more sensitive for you to understand what she's thinking. Would that be reasonable with her?
Absolutely.
Because I can see this is taking its toll on you. I can
Yeah.
really see it though.
Between that and my dad, yeah. But we're moving through.
Your dad is dying right now.
No, he's not dying. He's just in poor health, and he's in poor health, and there've been a lot of things like with it's just a lot, and I'm getting to know him. I'm getting
In
to
a
know
new
him.
way.
Yeah, but we were never really close.
I said in a new way. So
Yeah.
you knew him in a foreign
Yeah.
distant way. Now
Exactly. Close.
So you're getting to know him in a different way.
Yeah. And so now he's older, and so there's certain things that I don't know if they're related to his age or. Mary Kate, you wanted to get in the hot tub.
That's okay.
We can sit over there.
Okay.
You want to go over there?
We'll finish this and then we'll.
Okay. So there are things that I'm getting to know, and I don't know if that's how he's always been, or if that's like a newer thing with the age and with all the stress of my stepmother passing and like all of that.
Well, he's always been that way, or it wouldn't have come up. It's just more so.
Okay, that makes sense.
He didn't add a new part of himself. It's just amplified.
That makes so much sense.
And he may have taken the lid off himself in pain. When you're in pain, you won't take lids off.
Mm-hmm.
So he may have had a lid on that part of himself. It was there. It didn't create out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So learning him and helping him through this moment and going back and forth with,
Are you speaking your truth in it?
yeah, I've been speaking my truth a lot.
That's very important.
Yeah. I speak my truth all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. All the time.
Because if you don't, you're costing yourself.
Yes. Yep.
If he did things that hurt
Yeah.
you, it's much better that you tell him
Yeah.
for it to ever be forgiven than for you to say, I'm not going to mention it. I don't want to make him sad.
Yeah. So I speak my truth. And when I feel like I'm giving too much of
You
myself,
sit on them.
I pull back. I
Do you
just
let
recently
him know what
started.
you're doing? Do
No.
You say, okay, that your next step,
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming out of nowhere,
Right?
is to say, look, Dad, I think I'm giving too much, so I'm going to pull back. Say it. Speak it. It's not then a question mark.
Right. Right.
Because when you pull back, now you feel a little guilty because he doesn't understand to be straight.
Right.
You know, I think I'm getting a little too much, and I'm going to pull back.
Right.
What do you mean? I mean, when you do X, it does this. So
Right.
I can't do it.
Right.
Now, when I get myself strong enough, I'll be back.
Right.
That's true.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
I'm such a believer in just speaking my truth. And you'd be surprised at 82 how clear I am and free because I speak it. I don't have to be right or wrong. I just speak what I really feel.
Yeah.
And I'm not judging you when I feel it.
Right.
Or if I am at something you do, I'll say you did that and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Because when you swallow it, pretty soon you don't even know where it's coming from.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
And if you don't take care of you, I see something not good in you right now and I can't put my hand on
Well,
it.
I didn't sleep at all last night.
Okay, well,
I'm
whatever.
exhausted.
Maybe that's what it is.
I'm exhausted.
You're
like
exhausted.
depleted.
Okay. That's what I'm concerned
Yeah,
about. But
depleted.
you can't give yourself up
Mm-hmm.
for everybody else and take care of everybody. You've got to take care of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Exhausted. And then on the way up, there was this accident. So it like, we're stuck. We can't move. Like, I'm like,
Okay, that's fine. I just want to know that you look tired today.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. I don't even think I got an hour of sleep last night.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm tired.
Oh, how do you do it?
Yeah.
You want to go take a little rest? You should
I
take
will.
a
I'll
nap.
rest over here while you're in the hot tub.
All right. That's a good idea. But
Yeah.
you want an ice cream?
No, I'm